Hey, this is Dave Goodwin, Original Privateer. We hope you're doing good. We hope your day's going good. We hope you're loving life. We hope your relationships are good. We hope you're overcoming every day. You're waking up every day being a better version of yourself. You're waking up every day with self-awareness, self-discovery, new knowledge, and things are beginning to change, because that's what it takes, is having knowledge, which creates an understanding. What is the opposite of knowledge? Ignorance, okay? This last video we did on Facebook titled, "We Were Born to Win," and you were born to win, okay? You're beautiful. You're awesome. You have to know that. But we can be programmed to lose. We talked in the last program that our program resides in our subconscious mind, which is super powerful, unbelievably powerful, and that's where we work out of. That's where our life works out of. It's almost like we do things unconsciously, automatically out of our program, just like a computer program. When you click on something, it responds, right? If you're an aircraft pilot and you dial in your coordinates on your autopilot system, or whatever you guys call it, the plane flies automatically and makes the adjustments automatically based upon a program. Same with a ship. You put in your coordinates, that ship naturally, or it operates through that program. Well, that program had to be created, right? Well, we also have that program within us, within our subconscious mind, which we operate out of 95% of the time. But what if that aircraft, or what if that ship out there on the open sea has some buggy software? What if the program is flaky? Then the ship is not going to arrive on it at its destination, and it's going to get off course because the navigation is off. The same with the aircraft. Well, what if the pilot is not aware that his autopilot isn't working correctly? Then he's going to experience the results of that, whether he is flying at the wrong altitude, arriving at the wrong location, or maybe he's getting caught up in an airspace that has a lot of air traffic in it, right? Well, where I'm going with this is our life is like that. We have a program. And just like a buggy program in an autopilot on an aircraft, we can also have a buggy program. And that program, as I mentioned in the last video on Facebook, and I encourage you to go watch it, it's titled, "We Were Born to Win, Programmed to Lose." So where does that program happen? Who is the programmer? The programmer is many different things, but the program was what we seen from the time we were little, from the time we were born, what we heard, what we listened to, what we smelled. And as we grew up, then what we focused on, what we paid attention to, how we spoke, our belief system in ourselves, what our influences were, whether it's our moms and dads, friends, aunts, uncles, our teachers, whatever. That began to wire into our program. And then comes along experiences in life, struggles in life, situations in life, which also create that program and write into that program. Well, what if some of that programming was stifling belief systems or limiting belief systems? What if that program was full of pain, regret, doubt, fear? Then what happens is that's going to create our internal world and the health of our internal world, and our external world is going to be the byproduct of that, okay? So if our programming is like that, and how do we become aware of that? How do we become aware of, as you're watching this video, how do you understand that and begin to change your program so that if you operate automatically out of your program, wouldn't you want your program to be on point? Wouldn't you want to be aware of your program and who you are and what you're about? And through knowledge, we can begin to understand why we do what we do, or why we don't do what we should do, okay? We can begin to understand why we're having the results we're having, why we're responding and reacting to events a certain way, because we begin to have self-awareness of our program. But how does that happen if we don't explore knowledge through learning, through talking to the right people, through reading, through meditating, through studying? It'll never happen. It just won't ever happen. We'll just constantly operate out of our program, and as we operate on autopilot most of the time, and we'll experience the same struggles, the same patterns, and the same cycles over and over again, and wonder why. Wonder why we're not expecting different results. So that's where I'm wearing a shirt right now. It's one of our most popular t-shirt designs. If you like it, go to our website and buy one, originalprivateer.com. A little plug for us there, but it's not what we're about. We're about influencing you to wake up every day and be a better version of yourself. But this t-shirt is a stand. It's what we put motocross bikes on or racing bikes on, dirt bikes. This stand, it has so many meanings to it, but the main meaning we want you to understand with it is to take a stand on your life. Because if you don't take a stand on your life, nothing will change. Nothing will change. You will continue to operate out of your program. You will continue to operate out of ignorance. And you know what's underneath ignorance? Fear. You know, what's the opposite of fear? Faith. What's the opposite of ignorance? Understanding. Knowledge. Okay? So, wouldn't you want to have an understanding so that we can begin to change our program, so that if we are working on autopilot, we begin to experience new things in our inside world? Because remember, the battle is invisible. The battle's not on the outside, the battle's on the inside. The battle's within us, and only we can change it, and only we can change it through knowledge. The opposite of positive is negative, right? Well, the opposite of ignorance is knowledge, okay? So if we can understand our subconscious mind contains our internal program, then we can begin to ask ourselves, okay, well, if our internal program is full of these doubts and fears and struggles, how do we overcome it? And that's the awesome part. We can overcome it, and we can begin to interrupt that program. And I'm going to tell you how. So if this helmet right here is our subconscious mind, which we operate from 95% of the time, it's where our program is. It's where our emotions are. It's where our feelings are, where our experiences are, where our different struggles, our victories, and our defeats are. It's where everything in our life resides. The thing with the subconscious mind or our program, it doesn't know right from wrong. So whatever you give it, it just takes in. So junk in, junk out, right? It doesn't know the difference. So where does that happen from? If we can program our subconscious mind a certain way, and it can take in whatever we give it, and it doesn't have the ability to reason on what is right or wrong, then how do we change that? How do we change what we're giving it? We do it. If this little bell symbol on my motocross helmet is our conscious mind, which is in the prefrontal cortex of our mind right here behind our forehead, that is where our conscious mind is. That is where the reasoning is. That is our thinking mind. That is where we make decisions and we establish right from wrong. Well, if our conscious mind allows us to do that, then that's where awareness becomes in, right? That's where our conscious awareness is on what we're putting into our program. Because if you're an adult now, through this knowledge, you'll have understanding of, whoa, this is why this isn't working for me. This is why I do what I do. This is why I respond the way I respond. This is why I don't believe in myself. This is why I don't love myself. This is why I'm having the bad results out there on the motocross track, or whatever your hobby is. This is why my life is going the way it is. So through our conscious mind, we have the ability to reason and begin to go, oh, that's a negative thought. Oh, that's a positive thought. And we can begin to change it by, as that thought comes in, we have a small window of opportunity to where we can take that thought captive and we can begin to reason super fast. No, that's bad. That's life-taking. That's not life-giving. So as we catch those thoughts in our filter, this is my motocross filter off my bike, As we catch that in this filter, it comes into our conscious mind. We have awareness of it. And during that awareness period, it's caught in our filter. We take it captive. We begin to go, no, we begin to change the meaning of that thought, or we begin to think a different thought. And guess what? Now it goes down into our program. So how does our program begin to change? By practicing, by repetition, by habitually changing how you do things. That's how it begins to change the program. If you just do it once, the program will always override. Your program is so much more powerful than your conscious mind, but your conscious mind gives you the ability to constantly be aware of it and constantly make that correction. You know what I mean? If you're on a ship or a boat or in your aircraft, you're constantly making navigational adjustments, right? That's what we're going to do in our conscious mind, but because we're going to be aware of what it is we're doing. We're going to be aware of what it is we're thinking about. We're going to ask ourselves, what is our goal in life? Do we want to be a better spouse? Do we want to be a better husband, a better girlfriend, a better boyfriend, a better racer? Whether you're a stock car racer, a motocross racer, then what's a better motocross racer do? What does a better spouse do? It's not that you're comparing yourself to them. You're comparing yourself to the foundational belief system that creates that better version. Okay? It's not about comparing yourself to other people. It's about comparing yourself to what is right in the belief system that those that are successful or happy or peaceful do. Okay? What do people that deal with anxiety do? What do people that deal with insecurity do? What is it they do? It's not that you're comparing yourself to them. You're identifying the belief system that creates that. That is awareness. And that awareness is refined through knowledge, which begins to give you an understanding, and you're going, oh, that light bulb's beginning to kick on. So now through your conscious awareness, which is such a small part of how you operate, because you operate from your program, but through your subconscious mind, you can begin to reprogram your mind, and you can begin to tear down those limiting beliefs in your subconscious mind, in your program. But you won't do it if you don't have knowledge in how to do it and have awareness and understanding. So it begins with knowledge. If you've never played basketball before, how can you expect to be really good at it if you don't study it and practice it? Well, thinking is the same way. You got to do it every day. You got to take every thought captive that comes through your conscious awareness and hold it captive. And what you do with it, it has to happen quick. Just like being on the starting gate. If you take off and have a bad start, guess what? You're going to hit the first corner, whether you're in a stock car or a motocross bike, at the back of the pack. And that's what happens to our mind. And then our program is going to override that conscious awareness, because that's how the subconscious mind is powerful. Think of an engine in your car. The power is in the engine. That's where our subconscious mind is. But if you're putting shitty fuel into it, it's going to run shitty. If you put good fuel into it, it's going to run better. And that's the way we have to be. We have to take every thought captive through our conscious awareness. But we have to begin to ask ourselves, what are our goals in life? And are we taking a stand on our life? Are we just throwing our hands in the air and saying, whatever? Because nothing will change. You know, when you have these understandings, your faith, whatever religion you are, if you're a Christian, your faith is going to come alive. Because, you know, do a word study in the Bible on thoughts, on thinking. You are as you think. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Only think on these things, thoughts that are noble, pure, right, good. That's a positive vibration. Okay? Take every thought captive. What's captive mean? Take prisoner. You take it prisoner, you look at it. It could be a bad thought. Assign a different meaning to it. Look at it. Have awareness of it. And that's when things will begin to change. So I hope that helps. This is your mind. You have a program in it. Your program resides in your subconscious mind. You have the ability to begin to change your program through your conscious awareness. So if you operate out of your program, why wouldn't you want your program to be intact and working great? Okay? We talk about positive vibes. We create a frequency. If you want to tune a different radio station in your car driving down the road, what do? You turn the dial. But what if you don't get on that frequency you want? You get noise, you get problems, you get static. Our life is like that. What frequency are you operating on? Are you operating on a frequency that you're not getting what you want? Because the opposite of ignorance is knowledge. With ignorance comes doubt and fear. With ignorance comes doubt and worry. And if doubt and worry is right here and we're not catching this in our filter, how does doubt and worry happen? What we're thinking about, right? What we're processing, what our belief is, coming through our conscious awareness. Or it could be coming from our subconscious, and we can also catch it right here and change our thinking on it. But if you're letting your thoughts come right through this filter and you're not catching them, then what's happening is, if you have thoughts of worry and doubt and you let it through this filter, guess what? It goes down into your subconscious program. That's where your emotions are, your feelings are. And what is your emotion going to be when you're thinking about thoughts that create doubt and fear? Or I'm sorry, doubt and worry? The emotion that's going to come from that is fear from your subconscious. And as we begin to focus and pay attention to our fear, what is that going to create? Anxiety. And when we focus on that anxiety and we worry about it constantly, what's that going to cause? Depression. Okay? What is depression going to cause? Disease. Because you're not at ease. Okay? If you're catching your thoughts through knowledge, through understanding, and you're thinking about, what you're focusing on, what you're believing on, and you're going, hey, I want to change my program. I want to begin to change my life. I want better relationships. I want better results. I want a better life. I want to be a risk taker. I want to seek adventure without the presence of doubt and fear destroying my dreams and what I'm about and these limiting beliefs. Okay? If you have awareness of that, you're catching these thoughts. And you're having understanding, and that understanding is creating what? It's creating happiness. It's fueling your faith. The opposite is fear, is faith. The opposite of fear is love. I hope that helps. And through that filtering process and beginning to reprogram your program through your awareness and knowing who you are, through studying, through practicing this, you begin to feel good. And when you begin to feel good, what do you have? You begin to have better health. Your outside world becomes better. Okay? So I hope that helps. Run every thought, have conscious awareness, but it starts with understanding. It starts with knowledge. That's how our life changes. Have a big comeback. Don't give up. Whatever you do, do not give up. Take a stand on your life right now. You were born to win. You were born to win. Live your life. Love passionately. If you're in a relationship, why the hell wouldn't you want to do it passionately? Why wouldn't you want to be the best spouse you could be? The best boyfriend, the best girlfriend, the best friend. Why wouldn't you want to be the best you can be at it? Why? Why not? If it's not happening, change how you're doing things. Begin to have understanding. If you don't understand something and you're ignorant about something, then gain understanding. And how do you gain understanding? Through knowledge. Thanks a lot. Please share these videos. Tag a friend. We hope they help. If you have comments, questions, put it on there and we'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. I love you guys. You rock, you're cool, you're beautiful, you're awesome. You were born to win. I believe in you. Okay? I believe in you. Believe in you. But you won't believe in you if you're constantly focusing and acting on a limiting belief. Okay? The battle's invisible. I love you guys.